right, so let me go back here. All right, so for those of you listening at home, all right, here's your information about a system of linear equations. This is a 2x2 system. While you were gone, we figured out that 4, -1 was the solution to that, and then we're going to go through actually how to get that. All right, like I said, the first thing is just to be able to take an ordered pair and say, yes, it is a solution, or no, it's not a solution. All you do is you plug it into both equations and see if it works for both of them. If it works for both of them, then we call it a solution. If it only works for one or it doesn't work for either, then it's not a solution. All right, so for right here, I'm going to start with, now this is the one on your notes, right? The first one?
Yeah.
Okay, so just underneath it, 2x plus 3y equals 8. Plug in -2 for x. Plug in 4 for y. And I put a question mark over the equal sign because we don't know whether it's true because we're checking it. What's 2 times -2? That is -4 plus 12. Does that equal 8? Yeah, 8 equals 8. So that point works for the first one, which is a good sign. But you can't say, yes, it's a solution to the system because it's got to work for both of them. So we plug it into the second one, which is -x minus y equals -2. All right, watch your negatives here. This negative in front of the x has to stay. And when I plug in x, I got to plug in the actual number, which is a -2. So it becomes minus -2 minus 4 equals 2. A minus a negative is +2 minus 4. Well, what's 2 minus 4? It's -2. So -2, I get -2 on the left-hand side, but what's on the right-hand side?
It's -2.
It's -2. So yes, we're good because I keep forgetting to put my negative down. So that means we are good. All right. So now, yes, so that means -2, 4 is a solution. Is a solution. Okay? Work for both of them. Work for both of them. All right, so put those steps down underneath that.
Can you scroll back up?
Oh, you didn't get it down? Sorry. Now, what you have to do, part of what you have to do is show me, like, 8 equals, like, you got to show me those steps. You got to show us -2 equals -2. You got to do that. For that, because I want to know what the left, especially if it doesn't equal it. So, like, if you got like 8 equals -2, so I want to make sure you plug it in correctly, even though you might have a different answer. Good job. All right, so let's take a look at this second one. We're only going to do the second one. We're not going to get to the third one here because I want to get to the other one. So you might have a little bit more room to write. All right, is 5-2 the solution for this one? So we got 2/5 x minus y equals 0. And I'm going to plug in 5 for x. And I'm going to plug in 2 for y. And what's 2/5 times 5?
2.
2. So I get 2 minus 2 equals 0. Well, 2 minus 2 is 0. 0 equals 0. So it checks out. All right, you plug it into the other one. You already did it. You already did it. Things on fire. Did it work?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This button up here. So you do, you get this button to hit 2 and that button. And then just hit time. 5. There's 2 times 5. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna grab Some of the protractors.
So 5 times 3 equals 15.
No. Well, yeah, I guess so you plug in the 5, yeah, you plug in the 2 for the y. Did it work now? No? Oh, yes. All right, it should work. 3 times 5 minus 2 equals 13. 3 times 5 is 15. And then 15 minus 2 is 13 equals 13. So that means it works. So that means that 5-2 is a solution. Okay, 5-2 is a solution. Now, number 3, just pay attention to this one because I know I said I'm not going to do it, but I at least want you to see this. What happens when it doesn't work? Well, if I plug in here x minus 2y equals 4, 2 goes in for x. Negative 2 times negative 1 equals 4. Negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. So I get 4 equals 4. So far, so good. Plug it into the second one. 3 times 2 plus negative 1. That gives me 6 plus negative 1. All right, now here's kind of the key point. What's 6 plus negative 1 equal? 5, right? 5 does not equal 6. So that means 2 negative 1 is not a solution. 2 negative 1 is not a solution. I at least wanted you to see one that didn't work. And this is a key thing we're looking for is we're saying, all right, did you plug it in correctly? And then therefore you determine it's not a solution for them. All right, that's just the part A. Part A is saying, all right, does this work? And you get it. Yes, it works. No, it works. Does it work? Part B, which is that next section. Finding the answer. Okay, finding the answer. And the first way we're going to do it, the way we're going to do it today, is we're going to do it by graphing. Remember, when you graph a line, you are graphing all of the answers to that line. And so if I graph a line, 2 lines, and they cross, where they cross tells me the answer that worked for both lines. So that's what we want to do. We want to figure out where they cross. That is our answer. Now we know how to graph. So for this first one, y equals 2x minus 1, it has a slope of 2, a y-intercept of 0, negative 1. So if you need a quick review on graphing, Evan, this will be good for you for this quiz too.
So on those first 3 up top there, like the first one where we were just checking, does negative 2, positive 4 work? Is that a solution? We had graphed those 2 lines, 2x plus 3y equals 8, and negative x minus y equals negative 2. They would have crossed at negative 2, positive 4.
Yeah.
We had graphed those. So that's all we're doing on this one.
So now we're going to figure out where they, so start at negative 1, and the slope is 2, and it's a positive slope, so it goes uphill. That means I go up 1, 2, and then to the right 1. It's 2 over 1. Up 2 to the right 1, and then I can go down 2 to the left. All right, once you have that, use your protractor, make it nice and neat, nice and straight, because it's important where they hit. So use that to draw through that and extend it all the way from the bottom of the graph to the top of the graph. And so everybody should be on the same page because I'm being patient and waiting.
It's always one. Gotta get ahead of everybody else.
Who's that, Amanda? All right, so that continues. The second line is y equals negative x plus 5. Josh, can you tell me the slope, what the slope is, and can you tell me what the y-intercept is for that line?
-3, -2. -2 for the slope, and then -3 for the y-intercept.
All right, what,
I mean,
what equation are you looking at? Or-
You said number 2,
I'm sorry for
so
that.
I went to the problem.
Oh, for that second equation, this one right here.
Alright. -1 and then 5.
Okay, -1 or -1/1. And my b value, which is my y-intercept, is 0.5. So I go to 0.5 and put a dot. Negative slope means it goes downhill. I go down 1/1, down 1/1. We want to see if these lines hit. And even when they hit, go a couple past it just so we can graph it. Go here, graph that line. Now the whole point, so those are all the answers to the blue line, which is the blue equation. Those are all the answers to the red line, which is the red equation. Every one of those dots is an ordered pair that works for each of those ones. How many dots, how many ordered pairs work for both of them? One of them. And what are the coordinates of that point, Christian?
2, 2, 2, 3.
Okay, so the point 2, 3, that is the solution to the system. Because if you plug in 2 for x, you're going to get y = 3 for both cases. Will any other ordered pair work?
No.
No, because there is only one spot that they both hit.
Yeah, but we're asking, if those lines continue to go on forever, are they ever gonna cross again?
Yes.
No, because it's a line, it cannot make a bend. No bend in space there. Goes straight through there. So it hit at one point. All right, so that's our whole goal, is to find where they hit. So for this second one, now you got to be able to graph. If you graph incorrectly, then the point that looks like where they hit, maybe it will probably be wrong. So you got to take a look at each equation and be able to graph these correctly. Y = x sometimes causes some issues. If you have an x, that means you have a slope. There's no number written in front of there, but it's an unwritten what in front of there?
0.
Not a 0. 1. An unwritten 1. So my slope is 1/1. What's my y-intercept? That is really, you can think of it as x plus 0. You never write the plus 0. So that means my y-intercept is 0. Okay, so when you just have y = x, or y = 2x, or y = 3x, and there's no number after it, that means that your y-intercept is 0. So I'm going to graph that, start at 0, 0. You want a +1 slope, so it's got to be, slope dude has to go uphill. So he has to go up 1 and to the right 1. And then down and to the left. And then make that line as neat and as straight as you can. All of those points, even the ones that don't hit at nice numbers, are all answers to that equation. There's an infinite number of them. Infinite number. Because that line just keeps going on and on and on. That's why we put, I need to make sure I put arrowheads on. So that second one is y = -2x - 3. Okay, slope is, Amanda, what's my slope on that one?
-1, -1.
Wait, I'm on this line.
-3.
Ooh, slope.
-2.
Slope is -2. Slope is -2 or -2/1. It goes downhill. My y-intercept or my b value is 0, -3. So you start at -3. And I want to be going downhill, so which means I got to go up 2 and to the left 1. Right there they hit, which is a very good sign. And then I want to make sure I connect and go past that point where they hit. Don't just stop there. So give me some arrowheads on there. The whole goal is to find the point that works for both equations, the ordered pair. That is where they hit. What is the coordinates of that point? Christian.
-1, -1.
-1 is the solution. There is only one solution. They don't cross anywhere else, nor will they cross anywhere else. So that is our goal right now. What we did first, let me go backwards for a second. I gave you a point, and I said, hey, is that the answer? You tested it. You plugged it in. Yes or no, you gave me. Now we move to the next step. Hey, here's your two systems. Find the answer. You still want to test it to make sure by plugging it in that it works. You can always do that to verify. All right, flip it over on the back. So the first one, y equals 1/3 x minus 3. That's in the nice form. My slope is 1/3. My y-intercept is 0, -3. 0, -3. And so you go down here to -3. 1/3, up 1, to the right 3. Up 1, to the right 3. We don't get as many nice points on here, but we can get, looks like I can get 5 on here. You guys get the same grid as I got?
We had to write this down.
Yeah, I did that. Okay, so draw that line in, nice and neat. Amanda, let me one song by Def Leppard.
I don't know.
I didn't sing that one.
I don't know what album that was on.
You gotta know at least, if you're gonna wear the shirt.
That's what I said yesterday.
One.
What name is on the solution?
What's that?
What name is on the solution?
Oh, they haven't given her names. So like, Yellow Submarine, did they sing that one?
No, that's the Beatles.
Oh, okay.
Need that.
All right. How about Proud Mary?
No, I don't know that one.
That's a Rolling Stone. Who's throwing things at me?
Accidents.
Everyone knows who sings Big O with something.
Do that. Everyone?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
I was gonna say, I'm a little shocked.
You guys don't listen to the Beatles?
No.
I don't listen to them, but I need the song.
Good
So
joke.
what's
No
the
one.
latest song by Lil Baby? I don't know that one.
You don't listen to the Beatles. You hear the Beatles.
All right,
The one who got the stroke goes back in the. That's fine.
2x plus y equals 4. All right, what do you gotta do on this one? What do we gotta do?
Wouldn't you have to subtract the x on both sides?
Yeah, because you have to get y by itself before you start graphing. So there's what you gotta watch. You gotta subtract 2x. You gotta subtract 2x, and I'm gonna write that as y equals -2x plus 4. Now, my slope is -2/1. My y-intercept is 0, 4. If you don't get the y by itself, if you graph, then that's automatically wrong. Okay, you got to get the y by itself. So we go to 0, 4, and then it's a negative slope, so it's going downhill. So I go down 2/1, down 2/1. So I get that.
Mr. Dale, if they like finding the X and Y intercept, doing it that way to graph it, are we gonna count them wrong? Are we gonna require them to solve for Y?
Oh, so like if it's in this form,
Yeah,
if they did the X and Y intercept, I guess, why not? Why not? I guess that would be
3
fine.
negative 2.
Okay, and so what'd you get for an answer?
3 negative 2.
3 negative 2. That's the whole point. So if I plug in 3 for X, 1/3 times 3 is 1, 1 minus 3 is negative 2, so that works. 2 times 3 is 6, plus negative 2 is 4. It's gotta work for both of them. It's gotta work for both of them. All right, see what you get for this one. I'm feeling generous. Anybody gets it right, gets a piece of candy.
wow,
You gotta get rid of some candy.
wow.
All I do is-
I know where you can put it.
Your backpack.
In my belly. Put it in my
You
belly.
can do the hard part.
Hey, you gotta give us a minute.
I will give you a minute.
Not a minute, just like,
He's gonna give us exactly a minute.
Yeah, I got it. I should probably figure the answer out though. Don't worry. Sweater vest and big glasses, and I had a big pocket protector too, to protect my calculator. Sweater vest. I don't know if I ever had a sweater. We had some I had some Argyle sweaters back in the day. Some sweet Argyle socks.
Did you say something, Christian?
And that's what I thought. Basket.
Joe, you talking crap? Not funny.
Yeah, you said something?
Oh, yeah, I want that.
Say
Go.
something you want to know.
Hey, make it equals -2 on the second one. Sorry.
I'll make your life easier.
Yes.
Equals -2.
Yep. Make this a -2. -2.
Okay.
Were you around for the Argyle days?
I have an Argyle sweater. I should bust out my Argyle sweater. It's sweatpants day tomorrow.
Got an answer back there?
Is it 3 negative 3?
I can't be hollering things now.
Buddy, come on. I was
You
about to
said you
figure
got
it
an answer. Probably wrong. Why?
Yeah.
So
Oh,
That's a yes or no question.
I'll take that.
That's like, what do you want for lunch
Come
today?
on.
Purple.
No, I messed up and died.
To answer the question, do you want? Do you have an answer?
I have an answer. What's today's? No, we already said it. We all in college. We still.
What? Yep. Yeah, college.
We still miss our.
Action, you.
You still want the answer?
Write it down.
Yep.
How's that?
Write it down.
I'm here now.
Alright.
It was fun. Too much fun sometimes.
I would have loved
Write
it.
it down.
I don't know, I'm guessing,
You love Sect?
I have a hand up for
What's the difference between a left and a right?
They can write it later.
Left is for losers.
Right is always right.
Alright,
Alright, hold on. For those of you who are done and you get it correct, okay. You need to do that.
Line 6.
And Mr. Schwer, if they need graph paper, you.
I got it.
And if you need, Christiana, oh, come on, this graph paper.
We didn't do a negative slope.
Oh, come on, London. Ready? Alright, next is quick for the
Yeah.
You guys need graph paper?
Honestly, I need
Look at-
Let's see.
Come on, I need to guard.
I do the.
I guard shooters, yeah.